If you are watching this, you already know the familiar sting of the financial ceiling. It's that profound, confusing frustration of knowing, deeply, intrinsically knowing, that the potential pulsating inside you is massive, yet the external reality of your bank account or your professional trajectory stubbornly refuses to align with it. Perhaps you tried the strategies, the budgeting hacks, the rigorous saving plans, the relentless early mornings and late nights dedicated to the hustle. You've executed the actions that promise results, yet time and again, you hit an invisible wall. The money comes in, but it flows right back out, often through unexpected repairs, sudden expenses, or baffling investment missteps. This pattern creates a heavy sense of disorientation, a chronic feeling of being misaligned or disconnected from the flow of opportunity. You start to question your fundamental worthiness. You look at others who seem to glide effortlessly into success, attracting opportunities with casual ease, and the comparison doesn't just hurt. It convinces you that perhaps you are fundamentally different. Perhaps you were simply not born to hold or manage significant wealth. This gnawing tension, the struggle between your vast inner capability and your constrained outer outcome, is not a failure of strategy or intellect. It is a misalignment of frequency. Every human being possesses a secret, internal vibration of wealth, an energetic signature tuned to abundance. When this frequency is active and clear, life responds to it. Paths open, resources present themselves, and ideas flow into reality with stunning speed. But for most people, this essential vibration lies dormant. It is not lost. It is simply jammed by years of psychological clutter, limiting narratives, and a low-frequency noise of societal scarcity. You are broadcasting on a weak, static-filled channel, and the universe, which responds perfectly to the signal it receives, keeps delivering a life characterized by struggle, near misses, and profound effort that yields insufficient return. This realization that the problem is not what you are doing, but how you are internally attuned while doing it, is a critical pivot point we must reach before any genuine transformation can occur. The effort you are expending today, detached from a clear, resonant internal frequency, is the equivalent of trying to push a heavy object uphill using only willpower. It is exhausting, demoralizing, and ultimately unsustainable. The journey we are beginning now is about discovering why your wealth vibration is currently asleep, what emotional debris is muffling its signal, and most importantly, identifying a hidden step, a single, profound act ignored by traditional financial wisdom that activates this energy permanently, unlocking prosperity that has always been your birthright. We will move beyond merely managing money and start commanding the emotional and psychological forces that attract it. This is not about tricks. It is about accessing the operational manual for your own mind and energy field, teaching you to resonate at the exact frequency of the life you were meant to live. To activate this dormant vibration, we must first become forensic scientists of our own minds, tracing the history of the static. The invisible wall you keep hitting is constructed not of brick and mortar, but of deeply ingrained, inherited beliefs, your financial inheritance. We often focus on the bank statements our parents left us, but the true wealth or scarcity, inheritance, is the emotional narrative they transmitted about money. Think back to your childhood. What was the soundtrack of your household regarding finances? Was money discussed in hushed tones of worry, stress, and inadequacy? Did you hear that money was the root of all evil, that rich people were fundamentally bad, or that success required sacrificing your soul or your health? These messages, absorbed during your most impressionable years, settle deep into your subconscious operating system, the part of your brain that runs 95% of your life without conscious intervention. Your subconscious doesn't care if those beliefs are true. It only cares that they are familiar. If your family programming dictated that money equals stress, or that financial comfort leads to moral compromise, your deepest self will strategically sabotage your success, not because it wants you to suffer, but because it is trying to keep you safe from stress, safe from perceived corruption, safe from the unknown territory of genuine abundance. Your current financial reality is merely an accurate reflection of this internal programming. If you are struggling with guilt every time you charge a deserving price for your services, or if you constantly find ways to spend or lose money immediately after receiving it, you are witnessing the subconscious script playing itself out. The awareness that your current limitations are learned, not inherent, is the first seismic shift. You are not broken. Your software simply needs an upgrade, and that upgrade begins with recognizing the source code. Now that we recognize the source of the static, we can aggressively dismantle the core limiting myths that prevent your wealth vibration from rising. We must understand that true prosperity is not about having a certain number. It is about alignment, and alignment requires truth. One of the most insidious myths is a zero-sum game narrative. The belief that there's only so much money to go around, and if someone else succeeds, it inherently takes away from your potential. This fear-based thinking keeps your vibration locked in scarcity. The truth is, the economic pie is not fixed. It is constantly expanding. Every time you create value, you are baking a new pie. The second major myth is the equation of worthiness with effort. We are conditioned to believe that we must suffer and strive intensely to earn financial reward. This is a poverty mindset rooted in penance, not creation. You are worthy of abundance simply because you exist and because you offer value to the world. Prosperity is not a reward for suffering. It is a natural byproduct of focused, joyful creation. We must replace these limiting beliefs with empowering truths. Wealth is a resource amplifier for good. My prosperity creates opportunity for others. I am safe, worthy, and capable of attracting and holding vast financial resources. Say those new truths out loud. Feel the emotional weight shift. This isn't superficial affirmation. This is neuroreprogramming, the deliberate, conscious act of replacing the broken financial software with an operating system built on growth and possibility. The key is to stop trying to force money into your life through sheer effort and start making your inner world a magnetic sanctuary ready to receive it. The secret vibration cannot be activated solely through intellectual awareness. It requires physical, emotional, and energetic alignment, which is where the hidden step reveals itself. The most powerful yet overlooked action you can take to shift your financial frequency is the practice of intentional emotional resonance. This means shifting your emotional state to mirror the feeling of abundance before the evidence of abundance appears. Most people wait for the bank account to swell before they allow themselves to feel peaceful, secure, or joyful about money. This is backward. The hidden step is flipping that script, generating the feeling of security and overflow first. One powerful tool for this is not generalized gratitude, but targeted financial gratitude. Every morning, do not simply list things you are grateful for. Focus specifically on the money you do have, no matter how small. Be grateful for the system that facilitates your income, the skill that earned it, and the opportunity the money represents. Go a step further. Actively appreciate the debts you are paying off, recognizing them as tools that allowed you to access something you needed. This practice dismantles the anxiety loop surrounding money. Simultaneously, dedicate time to visualization rooted in feeling. Don't just picture a number in the bank. Visualize how it feels to operate from a place of deep financial ease. Feel the confidence, the calmness, the freedom. This emotional simulation is the energy that awakens your dormant vibration. By consistently broadcasting security and gratitude, you align your internal frequency with the reality you wish to manifest. This integration of emotional practice with focused intent is the bridge between wishing and having. As this new frequency solidifies, your relationship with money evolves beyond mere attraction. It transforms into an empowered identity. You are no longer the struggling seeker. You become the master flow, someone who naturally attracts, manages, and circulates money ethically and effectively. This identity shift is critical because money flows most easily to those who are emotionally mature enough to handle it without attachment or fear. Financial self-mastery is inextricably linked to emotional maturity. This means viewing prosperity not just as personal gain, but as a resource for impact. The truly abundant identity understands that wealth is not a measure of individual success, but a metric of one's capacity to serve and create good in the world. When you connect your desire for prosperity to a greater purpose, to fund a vision, to support a cause, to to provide generational security, or to amplify your highest self. The subconscious resistance melts away. Your inner critic can no longer sabotage you because the money is no longer just for you. It is for a mission. Embrace the identity of someone who is calm during market fluctuations, generous with their resources, and discerning in their investments. Claim the identity of someone who sees money as an energy tool, not a source of worry or a personal measure of value. You are not defined by the balance sheet, but the balance sheet is a testament to the powerful, clear, and abundant frequency you now embody. Prosperity is a natural consequence of operating from a place of wholeness, confidence, and genuine purpose. The journey to financial abundance is not a one-time event. It is an evolution requiring continuous, loving commitment to your new, high-vibrational identity. The final, essential layer of reprogramming involves firm and consistent maintenance of your emotional alignment. This means actively curating your environment and your internal dialogue. Be ruthless about setting boundaries against scarcity talk, whether it comes from others or from your own weary mind. Whenever the old programming, the worry, the panic, the guilt, begins to surface, recognize it instantly. Gently thank it for trying to keep you safe, and deliberately replace it with an affirmation of abundance and safety. Your commitment must be to your feeling state. Above all else, daily dedicate a few moments to a powerful, guided visualization that cements your new identity. Close your eyes and see yourself, 6 months from now, operating fully within your desired financial reality. Feel the confidence in your posture, the peace in your breath, the certainty that resources are always available to you. Let the vision saturate your emotional core. This is the ultimate act of reprogramming, living from a future reality now. This is a sustained, hidden step. You are committing to honoring your internal wealth vibration, ensuring it stays loud, clear, and resonant. By aligning your emotions, your beliefs, and your purpose, you cease chasing prosperity and become irrevocably the magnetic source that draws it in. Step forward now, knowing that the disconnection is over. Your frequency is activated, and your life is ready to respond. Successfully recalibrating your inner frequency is the necessary genesis of financial transformation, certainly, but sustaining the elevated state requires disciplined maintenance, a kind of perpetual energetic hygiene. It's a common miscalculation to believe that one monumental mindset shift guarantees perpetual ease. However, the world, in its inevitable chaos, will constantly attempt to drag your signal back to a lower density. Commitment, therefore, is not a grand, singular gesture. It is the daily, moment-by-moment calibration of your internal dial. You must vigilantly monitor the subtle psychological leaks, the microabrasions of anxiety that come from checking your credit score on a low day or listening to the financial doom cycle in the news. These small, repeated exposures to scarcity narratives slowly corrode your established frequency, pulling you back toward the struggle dynamic. Your task now is to install robust mental filters that protect your sovereignty, understanding that consistency in emotional management creates compounded energetic returns far exceeding sporadic bursts of positive thinking. Therefore, you must establish an internal financial immune system. When a market dip, an unexpected household repair, or a sudden downturn in client acquisition threatens to throw you into a familiar spiral of lack, commitment involves invoking a specific relapse protocol. This protocol isn't about ignoring the reality of the challenge. It's about preemptively choosing the emotional response before panic can hijack your system. For instance, instead of immediately defaulting to the old, urgent question, how will I fix this? The committed response pivots to a position of resourcefulness. What creative solution is available to my abundant self right now? The protocol demands a physical anchor, a deliberate pause, a deep breath to interrupt the adrenaline surge, and an immediate written acknowledgement of 3 recent instances where money showed up for you in an unexpected way. This exercise prevents the isolated event from spiraling into a systemic belief that nothing ever works out, ensuring that your reaction affirms the established frequency of resourcefulness rather than reverting to the dormant state of scarcity. This is not mere coping. It is high-level psychological defense, protecting the hard-won integrity of your energetic alignment. Furthermore, long-term commitment demands a robust practice of circulation ethics, moving beyond the mere receiving of funds to mastering the art of stewardship and flow. Wealth, like water, is stagnant if it is hoarded out of fear. It only expands when it flows freely, moving through you to benefit others. This principle applies not just to traditional generosity, but to paying for high-quality services without complaint, tipping generously as a gesture of confident abundance, and investing intentionally in areas that align with your deepest values. When you circulate resources with a clear and joyful heart, when you see paying a large invoice not as a loss, but as the activation of another person's prosperity and a confirmation of your own financial capacity, you send an undeniable signal to your subconscious. You are demonstrating through tangible action that you are genuinely an abundant steward who believes there is always more where that came from. This consistent practice of non-fearful circulation ensures the energy of wealth never gets clogged in your system. It keeps your prosperity channel wide open and impeccably clear, reinforcing your identity as a conduit of good, not merely a container of money. Now, let us commit this transformation to a permanent physical anchor, ensuring your high-frequency state is instantly retrievable under any circumstance. This requires a final, powerful integration. Close your eyes and feel the weight of this new identity settle into your body. Imagine that your entire physical frame is imbued with a clear, steady hum of abundance. It's not a frenetic vibration, but a deep, resonant certainty, perhaps feeling warm and dense in your core. See this frequency as a rich, deep emerald green light emanating from your chest, expanding outwards. As you inhale, you pull in pure, limitless opportunity. As you exhale, you release any lingering attachment to past failures or future fears. Anchor this feeling of unwavering certainty with a physical gesture, perhaps pressing your thumb and middle finger together. Whenever you need an immediate boost, when you feel doubt creep in, simply replicate this physical anchor. This is not mere thought. It is sensory immersion, conditioning your nervous system to instantaneously remember and embody your highest financial truth. This is the unwavering pledge you make to yourself, to operate perpetually from your highest calibration, to treat financial challenges as opportunities to prove your internal resilience, and to consistently circulate the energy of prosperity with grace and conviction. Accept the evolutionary nature of this path. There will be moments of learning, but there will be no returns to the old identity. You are officially released from the prison of scarcity and the struggle mindset. You have awakened the secret vibration within you. Now, live from that profound, powerful certainty, knowing that every breath you take is attracting the resources necessary to fund your most expansive vision. Go forward, knowing that your frequency is activated and your life is ready to respond with unconditional abundance. Reflecting on this profound journey so far, we are collectively moved from the frustrating observation of a stagnant external world to the deep comprehension of the sophisticated inner architecture that dictates it. We began with the pervasive sense of being out of sync, the experience of pushing against a relentless current while others appear to sail effortlessly. That feeling of misalignment was not arbitrary. It was the inevitable symptom of an internal operating system running on legacy code, a blueprint inherited long before we had the capacity to scrutinize its directives. The energy formerly consumed by striving and chronic comparison is now being rerouted and channeled into intentional self-correction. We are no longer addressing the symptoms of scarcity. We are surgically removing the psychological roots that fostered its growth. What emerges from this intense inner work is a recognition that the true barrier to prosperity was never an external lack of opportunities, but rather an internal dissonance, a fundamental contradiction between what the conscious mind desired and what the nervous system felt safe receiving. That invisible wall of self-sabotage, which seemed so solid and external, was merely the brain's protective mechanism attempting to enforce familiar, if uncomfortable, safety parameters. By systematically exposing those inherited narratives and replacing them with a framework built on expansive truth, we initiate a profound energetic discharge. The static that once cluttered your financial signal is clearing, allowing the authentic frequency of your inherent capacity to finally resonate strong and uninterrupted. This process is akin to restoring a masterpiece obscured by centuries of grime. The underlying brilliance was always present, but it required deliberate, focused restoration to bring it back to its original vibrancy. Through the deliberate practice of anchoring yourself in the emotional climate of already having, you are not merely pretending. You are performing an act of neurological training, conditioning your entire being to recognize and inhabit the frequency of wholeness. The habitual anxiety loop that once formed the default setting for financial thought is being dismantled brick by psychological brick, replaced by a calm, steady confidence. This self-generated certainty is a powerful magnetic field that reorders the external world around your desires. We are arriving at a pivotal moment where the cumulative effect of these internal adjustments translates into an inescapable sense of inevitability. The shift from seeing money as a prize to be desperately chased to recognizing it as a natural, abundant energy that flows through purposeful, emotionally mature conduits transforms the entire landscape. You cease viewing your bank account as a judge of your self-worth and begin to utilize it as a dynamic ledger of your capacity to create and contribute. The fear-based scarcity reactions, the sudden gripping tension over minor expenses, the instinct to hoard, are receding, replaced by an expansive assurance that the universe mirrors your internal state of preparedness and worthiness. This journey has been about internal sovereignty, reclaiming command over your deepest emotional and energetic levers. You have moved beyond the traditional, effort-based financial struggle and stepped into the powerful space of conscious creation. The final transformation awaiting you is the anchoring of this new identity, the ultimate act of commitment that ensures this powerful, activated frequency remains your unwavering standard. The foundation has been meticulously laid, the internal instrument perfectly tuned. Now, it is time to fully embody the maestro who commands the flow, stepping into the final, defining commitment that solidifies this evolution from striving student to master flow. The subsequent realization will not merely be an intellectual understanding. It will be a felt, physiological certainty of your inherent and enduring prosperity. The true breakthrough in this journey isn't the acquisition of new knowledge, but the visceral realization of an ancient, undeniable truth. You are not separate from the abundance you seek. The constant striving, the ceaseless pushing against the current, was born of a profound illusion. The belief that prosperity existed out there, requiring Herculean effort to drag it in here. We have meticulously peeled back the layers of societal and familial conditioning to expose the lie that fueled this effort. That lie was a fundamental belief in personal inadequacy, the notion that one must earn worthiness or luck through suffering. The power of activating your secret wealth vibration lies in its fundamental shift from the paradigm of scarcity to the reality of self-sovereignty. You are moving from a world of reaction, where you wait for the economy, the job market, or external forces to dictate your financial destiny, to a world of creation, where your internal energetic state precedes and determines your external conditions. Think of the thousands of hours you may have spent worrying, comparing, or calculating risk with clenched teeth. That emotional energy, when aggregated, was a massive, untapped resource directed entirely towards creating more of the very thing you feared: limitation. Now, with your frequency recalibrated, you are mastering the art of redirection. You understand that money is not the goal. It is merely the measurable byproduct of a life lived in resonant alignment. When you align your purpose, your inherent value, and your emotional calibration, opportunities don't disappear. They are magnetically drawn to coherent signal you are broadcasting. The path forward is characterized not by frantic activity, but by focused, joyful action rooted in certainty. You will find that you achieve more through deliberate, inspired movement than you ever did through exhausted desperation. This realization imposes a new responsibility: the sustained stewardship of your inner state. The world will always test the strength of your signal. A financial setback is no longer a personal failure. It becomes an opportunity to immediately deploy your relapse protocol, anchoring yourself back to the felt certainty of your abundant self. This is the difference between surviving and thriving: the commitment to feel the success of the outcome before the final data point confirms it. This commitment is the ultimate investment, an investment in the fidelity of your own energetic field. The profound implication derived from all this work is that financial liberation is, at its core, emotional liberation. When you successfully transmute fear of lack into a state of generous, unshakable confidence, you unlock far more than just monetary gains. You unlock mental peace, physical vitality, and a deepened capacity for purposeful connection. True prosperity is the integrated coherence of internal peace and external resourcefulness. The old narrative ends here. The protagonist who felt disconnected and unworthy has dissolved, replaced by a master flow who understands that wealth is not something achieved, but something recognized within the self and then expressed externally. Go forward, not merely as a budgeter or an investor, but as an architect of abundance, dedicated to maintaining the beautiful, powerful resonance of your highest frequency. Let your commitment to internal peace be your most vital financial asset. Your destiny is not defined by the struggle you endured, but by the magnificent certainty you now carry. The doors are open. Step through them with the quiet, profound confidence of someone who knows absolutely that they were born for this. The abundance is already yours. Now, allow it to find its way home.